This is it, girl. Give it to me, I just wanna rock on. Put you in the middle of the spotlight. You be my hit girl. Jump up in the seat, girl. Let it play loud. 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 Baby, I know that I miss you. I wanna get with you. So like that I can't wait. I'm an empty issue. I know I miss you. I just wanna kiss you. But I can't go so when you get home. Miss you, see you later, see you later. What's up? Yeah, you can be my man. I can be your man. You can be my wife. Text me, call me, I want you for my life. Yeah, all day, every day I need you. Every time I see you, it's getting deeper. I wish I really miss you, but I can't. Cause it's a good life.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Fish Report's high school volleyball broadcast on this Monday, October 5th. I'm Craig Fissinger, and joining me shortly will be my broadcast partner and tonight's play-by-play announcer, Tim Kearns. We're here in the Clair C Naveau Gymnasium at Russia Local School for tonight's Shelby County Athletic League matchup between the visiting Fairlawn Jets and the hometown Russia Raiders. We hope you enjoy tonight's broadcast because it is being brought to you by these fine sponsors: Busher's Market, Chiltex Heating, Cooling, and Mechanical Services, Geyer's Dodge Chrysler Jeep, Versailles Savings and Loan, Jeremy Cadanya Insurance, Jewelry Barn, Silver Cross Catholic Books and Gifts, Cruisers Bar and Grill, Knights of Columbus St. Remy Council, Nathan Marshall at Ameriprise Financial, Mike Stevie at Edward Jones, Drew Cloud at Allstate Insurance, Siegel's Country Store, and Made in the Shade Tents and Tables. Our first set is coming up in just about 6 minutes. A little earlier in the JV contest, Russia won by the final of 2-0. In the varsity contest tonight, first for the home team from Russia, they are led by head coach Aaron Watkins, now in his 5th year running this Lady Raiders program. This season so far, Russia has an overall record of 10-3. Non-league, they are 3-2 with wins over Covington, Versailles, and Lehman, and losses to New Bremen and Graham. In the SCAL, Russia is an impressive 7-1 right now, already beating tonight's opponents in the Fairlawn Jets once, as well as once each versus Anna, Botkins, and Jackson Center. They've beaten Houston twice, and they split their 2-game series with Fort Laramie, 1 win and 1 loss for their only blemish in league play. Most recently, Russia did play Jackson Center this past Saturday, and the Tigers were currently ranked number 15 in that contest in the latest Division IV poll. And while the Raiders are sitting just ahead of them at number 11, Russia did drop the first set 24-26, but came back to win 3 straight sets, 25-16, 25-15, 25-20. And I'll bring in my broadcast partner now, Tim Kearns. And TK, I was reading a recap of the game from Press Pros Magazine, and I liked what sophomore Kate Sherman had to say after that game about the win and the team getting back into form after their 2-week quarantine in September. Kate said, "We're coming off the high from this game, so I feel like we'll have momentum. We're definitely on now. It was hard to get back, but we're there."
Yeah, a good thing to hear from her and the rest of the team. They did come off that break. Had a couple easy games in Anna and Botkins, but then went right into Graham and Fort Laramie, 2 losses there. So I think that kind of stung them a little bit and showed them just how much they really needed to work to get back from that 2 weeks off. But since then, they've rolled off 6 straight wins. And as Kate says, looks like they are hitting their stride at the right time here. A couple good SCAL games, and then some other tough out-of-league games coming up.
Well, we like to talk about the younger talent on this team, and there sure is a lot of that, but make no doubt about it, there are some very good seniors on this. Our last broadcast was senior night, and we talked about the 3 seniors and Lauren Monyer, who's played sparingly this year, but she did play a lot on senior night. Good to see, but the 2 others in Kendall Monin and Ashley Scott, both record setters in this Raiders program, and been very good players for Coach Watkins this year and their entire careers, but 2 seniors that are no doubt leaders both on and off the floor.
Yeah, as you said, leading in records within Russia, but also SAL. Ashley Scott, I think she's number 4, number 5, and kills so far this year, even with those two weeks off or delayed. So a couple games to make up, and that will help her a lot. But again, a big part of the offense there. And also, as you mentioned, Kendall Monin really does a good job on that back line, keeps things in sync. Something that the Raiders historically have struggled with, or if you know the history of Russia, it seems like you got a front line, you don't have a back line. You got a back line, you don't have a front line. This group is kind of pulling all that together, though they are young. And it's good when they're starting to click, and as Kate said, it seems like they are starting to click now.
Yeah, we mentioned that in record setters. Actually, Ashley Scott did become Russia's all-time record in kills earlier this year in a game against Versailles. Kendall Monin, of course, just recently got to 1,000 career digs. While not a record at Russia, that record is actually held by Whitney Plyman, a girl we remember very well that ended up with 1,600, a little over 1,600 in her career. But Kendall's still a star in this program, no doubt. But let's change gears here and talk about the Fairlawn Jets a little bit tonight. They are led by head coach Ashley Miller and assistant Chelsea Brodigan. Some folks might remember Coach Miller as the former Ashley Francis, who was a star at Fairlawn in multiple sports some years ago. And Coach Miller is currently in her 2nd year as head of this program. We don't have much information on the Jets this season, but I can tell you they most recently played on Saturday in a match hosting Mississinawa Valley and thumped the Blackhawks in 3 easy sets, 25-6, 25-17, 25-13. They also played Jackson Center last Thursday, just prior to Russia's matchup with the Tigers, and Fairlawn lost the league battle in 3 sets, 25-11, 25-17, 25-11. Finally, as we mentioned earlier, both Rushi and Fairlawn did play once this season already, just last Tuesday, and Rushi won that match 25-15, 25-17, 25-15. So, TK, if I'm playing the odds tonight, Fairlawn would have to come into tonight's contest as the underdog, I guess you say.
Yeah, I think so, especially showing their last couple of games. I think I talked to Coach, and he thinks their record's about 7-4. Maybe not quite that. But anyways, yeah, they're rebuilding their solid team. I think we talked about this with some other schools earlier in the year, some of our opening broadcasts. When you play in this area, you're playing against teams that end up being ranked in the state. You've got Laramie and Rushi and Jackson Center just in the SCAL, and then around us we got New Bremen and now New Knoxville. So it's a tough place to play volleyball, even if you're a good squad. And there's some nice athletes on this Fairlawn team. I did a game last year, and they know volleyball. It's a tough place to play volleyball over here. They got a little bit more growing to do, and they can make some noise and maybe upset some people down the road.
Well, you might remember last year, Fairlawn did finish 6th in the SCAL at 2-10, and their league record, their non-league record, they won 8-10. And you might poke some holes in that and say, oh, well, they had a soft non-league schedule, but then they rattle off 4 wins in tournament. Finally ran into a buzzsaw on the Rushi Raiders that beat them in the regional semis before Rushi gets beat by Fort Laramie in the regional final. So, as you say, SCAL, very tough, and you hope that pays dividends later. But we're going to take a short pause here and let PA announcer Mr. Mike Hart take over and with our introductions and our national anthem.
Varsity volleyball contest between our visitors, the Fairlawn Jets, and your Rushi Raiders. Fairlawn High School and Rushi High School are members of the Ohio School Athletic Association and abide by the rules and regulations that set forth by the association to maintain high standards of conduct, competition, and relations with its member schools. The officials for today's contest are Anthony Hines and Jeff Miller. Welcome to Rushi High School, gentlemen. Will you please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and rockets red the first beginning, they flew through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, that's our spangled banner, yeah, wave. For the land of free and love of brave. And now for tonight's lineups. First, for our visitors from Fairlawn. Number 3, Catherine Carter. Number 17, Claire Henman. Number 27, Val Brodigan. Number 9, Emily Lessing. Number 5, Darcy Maxson. The starters for Fairlawn tonight. Number 4, junior Jesse Abke. Number 7, junior Lana Heath. Number 2, junior Vegas Gallimore. Number 24, junior Taylor Lesson. Number 6, freshman Addison Swearingen. Number 11, freshman Ellie Henman. The libero for Fairlawn is number 32, sophomore Macy Brodigan. Fairlawn is coached by Ashley Miller, assisted by Chelsea Brodigan and Gretchen Hagman. And now for your Russia Raiders. Sophomore, number 0, Lindsay Mastano. Number 6, Lauren Monnier. Number 7, Kelby Nosek. Number 9, Bailey Coleman. Number 13, Ronnie Coleman. Number 14, Corey Guo. The starters for tonight's game. Number 3, sophomore Cece Borchers. Number 4, sophomore Kate Sherman. Number 5, sophomore Maya Monin. Number 10, senior, Captain Ashley Scott. Number 11, sophomore Simone Putoff. Number 12, freshman Carly Scott. And the libero for Russia is number 2, senior and captain Kendall Monin. Russia is coached by Aaron Watkins, assisted by Olivia Cummings, David Strunk, and Sierra Wyrick.
So those were tonight's lineups by PA announcer Mike Hart, and we talked about the Raiders having 3 seniors on their roster, and Lauren Monnier, Kendall Monin, and Ashley Scott. The Fairlawn Jets with just 1 senior in their lineup, TK and Catherine Cardo, not a starter, but we talked about the youth that Russia has and the talent they have. It sounds like Fairlawn has a lot of youth as well, starting 2 freshmen, and we got a chance to watch that JV team that looked, even though they got beat 2-0, looked very competitive.
Yeah, as I said, watched them last year. They're starting to build a nice program in Fairlawn, and it shows there was some of the youth, but as Russia did, you got to put them in and got to figure out if they can play varsity and how to play. It's a much faster game, even between JV and varsity, and they're starting to do that. We'll see how they fare tonight.
I'll go back to the comment, too, we said in our pregame about Kate Sherman saying we're back. With that comment, you would think it's important that Russia does start out with with some energy tonight and perhaps gets that first set under their belt to keep that momentum going from Saturday.
Yeah, I think this is one of those teams you don't want to give them too much confidence that they can stay with it. You want to put them down early and keep on top of it, keep that momentum going. And we're started here today with Fairlawn serving to Russia. And that one goes down on the Russia side for the point.
Yeah, unfortunately, our viewers can't see the serve behind that line all the way against the wall. Our camera doesn't span that wide, so got UTK to help us out with that.
Again, Fairlawn has Taylor Lessing back serving for them to start things. Raiders here struggling a little bit. Fairlawn, Lessing to the far side, and a dig, and that's not quite enough. Nice attempt on the backside there by Kendall Monin, but couldn't quite get to that ball, and the Raiders find themselves down 2-0 here in the first set. After we said they need to get out to a fast start, they're not. Set to the near side to Kate Sherman. That's blocked at the net. Raiders just going to get this one over. And that's out of bounds off Fairlawn. And Raiders get their first point. Up front, number 11, Ellie Hinman. And the net there just tipped that one out of bounds. So the Raiders start their service. Maya Monin. Raiders go far side. Picked up by Fairlawn. And they can't get that one across. And it's quickly tied 2-2.
And Coach Watkins has experimented a little bit with his rotation. You see Maya Monin, like you said, starting out serving tonight. He's changed that around a couple times.
Nice knuckleball serve there. Fairlawn goes far side. Picked up by the Raiders. Set to near side, Kate Sherman, and she finds a hole in the back line. It's Raiders 3-2.
I think Maya Monin said in that Press Pros article when she sets Kate, she says, I'm glad I'm not on the other side of the net. You just get your hands up and hope to make contact with her kills.
Now Bailey Pullman, number 9, quickly in the rotation for the Raiders, and she's right there to, I guess that's Kate Sherman. Sorry, now Pullman on the far side to block, but they go over her. Set the near side to Sherman, picked up by Fairlawn. In the middle, just going to get it over. Raiders up to Monin, far side to Pullman there. Fairlawn not able to catch up to that one, and that bumps the Russia lead to 4-2. So they've been able to quickly turn things around after falling behind 2-0 early on in the first set here. Maimon continuing to serve, picking on that back corner, and she gets an ace.
Yeah, Jessie Apke just couldn't handle that serve. Went off the side of her forearm there into the stands. Apke, a very nice player. She's has a typically their kill leader for Fairlawn. In the back row, though, right now.
Rotation in. Belle Bradigan comes in for Fairlawn. Fairlawn just going to get this one over. Up to Monin, backside Pullman. Picked up by Fairlawn. Raiders coming near side to Sherman. Then picked up. Fairlawn gets that one in.
A nice kill there from Lana Heath. Lana, just a junior. You've heard her name on the basketball court as well. A very good volleyball player, too.
And that puts Lana Heath back to serve for the Jets. Nice deep serve. Raiders had to deal with there. Pullman picked up. Here's Lessing, and the Raiders can't come up with that one. Lessing at the net with a nice dump there. And it's 5-4 Rushi.
Well, you know, with the absence of JO volleyball this summer, TK, because of all the COVID concerns, it's been a lot of these teams have just been kind of getting in form, even though it's halfway through the season.
It's a nice middle set to Kate Sherman, and finds the floor on the Fairlawn side. It's 6-4 Rushi, and that sends CC Borchers back to serve for the Raiders. Fairlawn just gets that one over near side. Ashley Scott, and that hits the line, and it's good. 7-4 Rushi extends the lead here in the first set.
The Rushi kills leader putting another one down for the Raiders. As you said in the pregame, number 4 right now in the county in kills, and that's with a few less games than everyone else.
Nice knuckleball by Borchers. Fairlawn goes to the far side. It's blocked by Rushi, and Fairlawn cannot pick it up. That's a tough pair right there. Number 4, Kate Sherman, number 9, Pullman, Bailey Pullman. Two very tall girls, very long arms, and a great athletic ability. Hard to get past those two. Fairlawn just dinks it over. Raiders getting set. Here's Ashley Scott. Fairlawn does pick it up. Lessing's just going to get that one over. Raiders going to reset here. Mon near side again to Ashley Scott, and that's another kill. It's 9-4.
Ashley Scott with that kill, and you mentioned Bailey Pullman before, TK. She's not a girl that gets a lot of, acknowledgement or maybe press, just because when you have girls like Ashley Scott, Kate Sherman, CC Borchers, but she's developed into a very nice player for Coach Watkins as well.
Raiders over, but it's dug out. Lessing goes to the middle. A little bit of confusion there by Fairlawn, and couldn't attack that one.
I think we're going to get a timeout here and take a short break. Get a word from our sponsors here, TK. And the Rushi Raider fans' attention, you can shop local and save at Busher's Market and Rushi. Busher's Market has great prices on fruits, vegetables, frozen items, seafood, and more. Make sure you check out their meat department with deli item specials. Busher's also has fresh store-made soups that make a great quick meal, especially when it starts to get a little chilly out. Always love going to Busher's and checking out what soups they have. They're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Busher's Market in Rushi. Shop local and save. TK, so the Raiders got off to a little bit of a slow start, down 0-2, and then got right back in it with, I think, at least 4 unanswered.
Yeah, got themselves back in sync there, and a couple of nice blocks on the net, and find themselves now up 10-4 here in the first set with CC Borchers back to serve for the Raiders. In the middle, Lessing goes to the far side. The Raiders there to block it. Lessing tries the middle, and the Raiders are there to knock it down. Ashley Scott, a little bit of an overpass there at the net. And the Raiders take advantage. It's 11-4.
When you've got as much talent as Rushi's got, you can afford to maybe have some mishaps and recover more so than maybe other teams.
Another block. The combination of Sherman and Pullman.
Well, I thought it was a nice set there to Abke. Just it was a good block, though, on Rushi's part.
Fairlawn dealing with an overpass. Raiders backside picked up by Fairlawn right there on the net, and the Raiders couldn't decide whose it was to get, and it falls on.
Yeah, you mentioned confusion before. There was a definition of confusion on that one. A couple girls looking at each other like, I thought you were going to get it.
So it's 12-5 Raiders. And that sends Ella Henman back to serve for the Flyers, rather the Jets.
I tell you, TK, I love that back set. Maimana does a very nice back set. I mentioned it to Covey, our last broadcast, but I just love it when you can execute a nice back set. Nothing's prettier.
It's like we had a rotation problem on the Fairlawn Jet side of things, and the Raiders get a point there. It's 14-5. Rushi and Kate Sherman is back to serve. And that goes in the net. Service error. The first one for the Raiders today is something, it's one of those things like turnovers in basketball. It's something you got to keep control of, and the Raiders have been able to do that.
Well, Kate had a big week last week, the City Daily News Player of the Day on Monday, and then got the Press Pros feature on Saturday, so she was bound to come off that cloud a little bit, TK, with a service error.
Number 7, Lonnie Heath back serving for the Jets. There's a miss hit by...
That's Carly Scott, the freshman.
Yeah, Carly Scott, who just came in on the rotation.
Of course, the younger sister of Ashley Scott. And Carly, we've seen her, as any typical freshman, she's had some very good games and then some quieter games. Nice to see her get in part of this mix, though, and she's going to be a good one.
And there's a serve from Vegas Gilmore, goes right into the net. The Fairlawn Jets have the old circa 1980s soccer type numbers on their jerseys. They're just two little lines, and it's making it hard for me, Fish. I'm not sure if you can pick up numbers very well. And that hits the line. That was a heck of a shot. Fairlawn scrambling there and just catches the corner.
Well, it's a right call when line judge Al Putoff calls it. He's been doing it for a lot of years, TK, and if Al says it's in, it's in.
So Jesse Apke back, serving for Fairlawn. And that one finds the line from the Raiders side. And it's 16-8 Rushi.
Yeah, you say the soccer style numbers on those uniforms there. It's also black on blue, which makes it a little tough as well.
Fairlawn just going to try and get this over when they can't. Lessing got a little twisted around there, trying to tip that third hit over. And it stays on Fairlawn's side. It's 17-8, the Raiders, and Ashley Scott back to serve. Big jump serve from the middle. And there again, Lessing gets a little turnaround on an overpass, and that ends up in the net as well. It's 18-8. Raiders and Fairlawn's going to take another timeout to try and stem the tide.
I know we got a few senior citizens listening tonight, and some might be wondering, how can I make an easy transition into Medicare and retirement planning? Well, the answer is easy. Contact Jeremy Cadonier at Jeremy Cadonier Insurance in Versailles. Jeremy helps seniors with the step-by-step process with products like Medicare supplements, Part D drug plans, life insurance, and investments in the Versailles area. Call Jeremy at 526-9860. That's 526-9860. And TK, I said before how pretty the back set was when it's executed properly. Maybe the only thing prettier is a nice jump serve, and we're seeing that right now.
Ashley Scott does that very well. Tends to put a lot of topspin on that ball. It makes it dive over the net, and that's hard to deal with on the defending side. And there Fairlawn gets tangled up a little bit in the net. There's another point for the Raiders, 19-8.
And another assist by Maya Monin, who, she's been doing a second in assist right now in the county, and she feeds the girls like Sherman and Scott a lot, that's for sure, and Cece Borchers.
Fairlawn gets it over. Monin coming near side to Scott. That's blocked, but it's blocked out of bounds. Again, that's Carly Scott.
And one more note there on Maya Monin, TK. She's just a sophomore, but was a starter last year. So earlier this year in that Versailles game, we mentioned Ashley Scott becoming the kills leader. Maya Monin got her 1,000th assist already as a sophomore.
Mon getting near side. Carly Scott finds an opening off the block.
Like I said, Carly Scott could be one of those streaky girls that can get quiet. There she came up big, and Coach Watkins hopes she comes up big tonight.
Ashley tried to sit a short serve in there, but it didn't get in, and the Jets able to take advantage there and find the back corner, and a point.
I think that was Taylor Lessing for the Jets that found that corner. Taylor Lessing, a junior, number 24 down here on the floor.
And number 11, Ellie Hinman comes in for the Jets. Their serve, and that's an ace.
Yeah, Simone Putoff got kind of fooled on that one. And maybe the ball was, I don't know if it was knuckling on or what, but
that's one of the freshmen serving for the Jets. That's Addison Swearingen. But the Raiders take advantage and they're put the point down. It's 22-10, Russia.
Yeah, they seem to have taken control of this first set already. Just 3 more to wrap things up.
Kendall Monin to serve, and that's an ace. A little too hot there for the freshman. Addison Swearingen on the Fairlawn side.
I thought Kendall Monin looked awfully good on that jump serve, too. I don't know if our viewers can see it very well, but you talked about topspin. She's got a lot of her.
That's touched at the net by the Raiders. Point to the Jets.
Jessie Abke with that kill. She was a second team All-SCAL, the only one on the Fairlawn roster, but the outside middle hitter with a kill had 301 kills last year.
So that puts Taylor Lessing, the senior, back to serve for the Jets. They're just going to get this one over, and Rushie's going to have a free ball here. See what they can do with it. Near side to Sherman. And Fairlawn can't come up with it. So they take advantage.
I think the key to that one, TK, was Maimon, and she looks so confident out there, I think, in that setter's position, and she's going back to serve now, but big key to setting all those girls up.
Maya, one of the few girls not doing a jump serve for the Raiders, and that time Sherman unable to block. It falls on Rushie's side. It's 24-12.
Yeah, nice kill by the freshman, Ellie Hammond.
Lana Heath back to serve. Overpass, and the Raiders pay for that one.
Well, Fairlawn on a little bit of a run here. Might be too little too late, TK. Down 11, 24-13, but starting to show a little life here all of a sudden.
And the junior, Heath with the serve. Rushi coming near side. Pullman just gets it over. And that is overhit, and that is the set. So it's 25-13. Raiders take the first. And little too late on the side of the Jets, but some fight in there. But overall, the Rushi Raiders pretty much controlled that set once they got things moving after that 0-2 deficit early on and never looked back, really.
Yeah, I thought Fairlawn, like I said, showed a little life there at the end. Looked a little undisciplined at times there in the middle. Had that the rotation violation, whatever you call that there, and got charged on that point. But maybe I'm sure Coach Miller is getting together with him right now and going to talk to him about, again, maybe being a little bit more disciplined, maybe coming out aggressive like they did at the tail end of that first set, and trying to jump on the Raiders early and a little longer than they did in that first set. Like you said, just the 2 points to get things started out before they fell behind and never regained.
If we look at Fairlawn's schedule coming up after they finish with Rushi tonight, they go on to Anna, Bokkins, and Houston. So 3 clubs that they should play pretty close with and have some good matches. But as we said before, then you turn around and you run into a bunch of state-ranked teams in Marion Local, St. Henry, and Fort Laramie, which it's going to just make you tougher. When you hit those guys towards the end of the season, and then they come out with Botkins, and I think that wraps up their season and heading into tournament. So probably not a bad way to head into tournament to see some really tough competition and state-ranked teams and we'll see. Maybe they have another run in them like they had last year, as you mentioned earlier, Craig.
Yeah, four wins there in the tournament, and I know Russia's got high hopes as well. Russia coming back with, I think they returned 7 lettermen from last year, including their 6 starters. So, of course, they're going to have big plans, and Fairlawn. Hopefully, they're thinking of getting in the right bracket where perhaps they can get another district championship, and maybe meet up with a team like Russia again in the regionals and getting a second shot at them like they did last year. TK, we talked earlier, too, the summer about missing out on that whole JO season. I think some of these girls maybe got an initial tournament in, maybe 2, but for the most part, no JO this summer. So, as I said earlier, I think you kind of what we're seeing right now is maybe teams getting into a more of a form that you might see at the beginning of the season when you have a typical summer. So, some of the volleyball at first wasn't the greatest, but right now I think we're starting to see some of that, and this is when it's starting to get really good.
The Raiders are set, and they'll start off with a serve here in this set, and it's a long.
Kendall Mana got things started out with that jump serve, and just floated on her a little bit.
Yeah, didn't get on top of that. But that puts Taylor Lessing for the Jets. Raiders go to the center to Kate Mon. It's picked up by the Jets. They go far side. And that hits the floor, and that's a point. 2-0.
Yeah, Lana Heath with that kill there. She going to be key to Fairlawn getting back into things, maybe knotting things up at 1-1. She's going to have a good set here.
Lessing again. Raiders up to Monin. Near side, Sherman off the block to just pick it up. And they're going to call 2. Not quite clean enough on that set there. And the Raiders get the point. And that keeps Maya Monin back to serve for the Raiders. He's going to the back corner. Fairlawn picks it up, but they're just going to get that one over. Monin back up to her setter's position to Sherman, and that's in. Actually, it's long, but it was.
I think the line judge actually called that one in, but I
thought it was
overruled.
It sounded to me as if it was tipped, but either way, it's 3-1 Fairlawn.
I missed the down judge. He may have called that. I didn't see it.
And the Raiders, a little communication problem there, and Fairlawn goes to 4-1.
Ashley Scott looking at Kate Sherman on that one like she thought maybe Kate was going to get it.
Heath back in service for Fairlawn, and the Raiders are a little out of sync. Couple bad passes there. Got to serve, receive. You got to be able to get a nice ball to your setter. Maimanen not able to catch up to that one. And the Jets again here. And there's an overpass. Here's a chance for the Raiders to get back in sync. Going to Sherman, and that's blocked out of bounds. And it's a Rushi point. It's Rushi 2, Fairlawn 5.
I wondered if Fairlawn got one more point there, TK, if perhaps Coach Watkins would call a quick timeout.
And there's CC Borchers, puts it into the net. Not what the Raiders needed right now, is they need to get themselves back in sync. It's 6-2.
I don't see a lot of fire out of Rushi right now. I've seen times where they're super charged up, and I just don't see that right now. And you got to wonder maybe if they're panicking a little bit here with this early deficit.
Fairlawn puts in Claire Hinman. So they're adding some more people, and there we go. Ashley Scott with a nice kill into the block, which falls on the Fairlawn side.
Well, you know what you do, TK, when you're having problems, you go to your seniors, and that's what they did in that case. And Ashley Scott get the Raiders that point.
Sherman back to serve, and that is long.
I thought perhaps Fairlawn made contact with that one, and I guess they didn't.
Just long on the end line there. Macy Bradigan in to serve for Fairlawn. Nice floater. Monin sets middle to Scott. Overpass by Fairlawn, and the Raiders take advantage. Carly Scott right there to put that one down.
Nice job by Rushi's freshman, the only freshman in this lineup for Coach Watkins, and I like what I'm seeing out of Carly Scott right now. Not trying to do too much, but when she's getting her opportunities, she's taking advantage of them.
Yeah, you have to take advantage of those overpasses. Those are mistakes that must be taken advantage of if you're going to score and win volleyball games. And there's a nice.
That was the freshman there, Addison Swearigan.
Yeah, I went on the angle this time to get away from the blockers and got away with it.
Well, we've got freshmen get the last 2 points for both Russia and Fairlawn.
Russia digging, and they can't. And it falls on their side. It is now 10-4 with Fairlawn, and that's a Russia timeout. Sorry, 9-4 Fairlawn, and the Raiders call a timeout.
All right, well, we'd like to thank one of our longtime sponsors tonight, and that's Nathan Marshall at Ameriprise Financial. Nathan's company, Ameriprise Financial, was rated #1 in the investment industry for trust. Nathan can help you with your financial goals and personalized advice tailored to you. Nathan is a big Russia Raider supporter and is probably at tonight's game watching his niece Kelby, who we saw earlier in the junior varsity game. So don't call him now, but give him a ring tomorrow at 937-853-2600. That's 937-853-2600. So TK, a couple freshmen there, and Swearigan for the Jets and Scott for the Raiders getting a couple points each. But Russia finds themselves in a hole.
Open overpass. Can Raiders do something with it? They can't. Lessing to the middle. It's blocked by Ashley Scott, and they call in the net.
So as a coach, whenever you call a timeout, you like to come out of that timeout and score the first point. That's what Russia did. So I'm sure Coach Watkins happy about that.
Ashley Scott back to serve for the Raiders. Lessing in the middle, just going to get this one over. Monin near side to Scott, and she goes over the line. Not the best of sets. That was a bit too close to the net. Can't fault the freshman for going into the net on that one. And it's 10-5. Fairlawn leads. That sends number 6, Addison Swearigan, the freshman, back to serve. Center, and that's point. Oh, overruled by the up judge. Line judge said it was in. Up judge says no, and it's a point. 11-5. The Jets continue to roll here in the second set. Mon coming to the near side to Carly Scott, and the block goes out of bounds.
Well, you mentioned that set being a little bit off maybe from Maya last time. This time she puts it in the perfect spot. Carly Scott takes advantage of it, gets that kill.
Raiders trail 6-11. Kendall Monin gets the ace. Nice serve.
I think that's what the top spin will do for you. Both those girls looking at that, waiting for it to go out, and with that rotation on it, it dropped right in that line.
Yep. It's like that change up in baseball. Just gets to the edge and drops. Monin coming near side. CC Borchers off the block and out of bounds on Fairlawn. It's 8-11. The Raiders trying to chew their way back into this one after trailing.
Yeah, Hemman had her hands up on that one, the freshman, but it's a nice kill by CC Borchers.
Overpass, the Raiders there. And it's a lift. It is called a lift on Fairlawn.
Russia starting to rally back here, TK.
Yep, down 9-4 with a timeout. No, 11-9, getting things closer. Lessing goes far side. Raiders pick it up. At the net, Sherman able to hit it just inside the line. Nice one.
That's what you get when you have a long reach like Sherman's got. That ball was behind her, TK. She's able to get up and hammer that one home for the point. We got another timeout.
It's now 10. Russia 10, Fairlawn 11. This is a timeout on Fairlawn's side. They're trying to get a little of that momentum back and see if they can pull away here in the second set.
We know these two coaching staffs here, TK, very familiar with each other. The Russia staff is, I think, primarily, if not all, Fairlawn graduates, alum, community members. So it's Fairlawn. I know is a big sport. Volleyball is a big sport over there at Fairlawn, and Rushi, again, with that coaching staff that was made up primarily of former Fairlawn folks.
I think Olivia Monin in there is Livy Monin's the only one from Rushi. I think she's just a volunteer assistant. But you're right. Nice group of Fairlawn volleyball players coaching us here. And there's an ace. And that ties it up, 11-11.
Well, you know, when you're sitting up here in the crow's nest and you see that serve, you think, well, gosh, why couldn't Abke return that one? But when it's coming at you and perhaps knuckling or got some top spin, it's a different story.
Kendall Monin continuing to serve. Jump serve from the center, going to the far corner. Fairlawn picked up by the Raiders. Here's CC Borchers, and it catches the Raider side of the net and falls. It's 12-11, and that sends Taylor Lessing back to serve for the Jets. Near side, Sherman, and she finds an opening, and that's the point for the Raiders, 12-12.
Nice kill by the sophomore and Kate Sherman. Got a number of sophomores out there, and CC Borchers is Maya Monin back to serve right now. The three sophomores and a few of them on the bench as well.
Back set. Rushi able to pick that one up, come near side to Sherman. And that's a kill. And the Raiders take, I believe, their first lead here at 13-12 in this second set.
Dug themselves in a hole to start this one out like they did in that first set, although this hole is a little deeper, I guess, to get out of, but they finally have.
Lessing, middle set. Rushi picks it up. Maya Monin tries to dink it. There's Pullman blocked. And there's some miscommunication on the Fairlawn side.
Nice play there by Bailey Pullman. She gets the point on that one. Has a smile for her teammates.
Yeah, Pullman just coming in on that last rotation. Lessing far side. And that is out.
A little wide there from the senior, Catherine Cardo, outside hitter and kind of a defensive specialist for Coach Miller. She didn't start tonight, but is the one senior in this Fairlawn Jets roster.
That might have been long, and the freshman Addison Swearingen wasn't sure, and she swung at it, missed, but just grazed off her arm to give Rushi the point. They're up 16-12 now. Just gets the ball over. Raiders trying to recover. Sherman, that's long. Look to see if anybody tipped it. Nobody tipped it. It's 16-13. Fairlawn finally stops the bleeding there. Bailey Pullman there trying to get to that ball. Couldn't quite, and it was blocked back onto the Rushi side. It's 2 points there.
Volleyball, as we talk about all the time, so much a game of momentum. We're seeing a lot of momentum shifts here in this second set.
That was called a lift, I believe, from the up judge. Gives a point. 3 points in a row now for Fairlawn. And then they serve it out of bounds. A little unforced error there. It's 17-15. The Raiders in the lead here. CC Borchers back to serve. Blessing to Abke, and that just gets over the defenders and falls on Rushi's side. It's 17-16. Fairlawn not going away.
Abke, a big hitter, but she kind of took a little bit off that one, TK. Just a kill that was executed, but just not as hard as some of the kills we've seen her get.
There's Ashley Scott with the kill for the Raiders.
That one was executed very well, and you can tell those two have been doing that for a while.
Puts Sherman back to serve. It's 18-16 Rushi here in the second set. The jump serve picked up. Lessing goes far side. Raiders going to scramble a little bit. Got to get this one over here. Lessing, middle. Apke, then Rouge picked it up, and there's Carly Scott.
Well, I tell you what, when Maimana can get that set, TK, she's got so many weapons out there. You name it, Scott, Pullman, the other Scott, Kate Sherman in the back row right now. You got Cece Borchers out there, just a lot of different choices for her.
And that one is tipped on the back line. Lana Heath trying to get to that serve, was going for the gap between the defenders and couldn't catch up to it. That keeps Sherman at serve, and that catches the net. So with that, it's 2017. Raiders in the lead here. In comes Macy Bradigan, the sophomore, to serve. Monin, near side to Carly Scott, and that's out of bounds on the dig by Bradigan. 21-17 Rushi.
Again, Carly Scott having a nice second set here. She started out doing a few things there in that first set, looking even better this second one.
Coach leaving Simone Putoff in for the serve rotation. Nice little serve. Raiders go to the middle. That's picked up by Fairlawn. Lessing's just going to get this one over. Rushi taking advantage. Scott picked up, and that one is hit over, and that one is a point for the Raiders. Scott tried to dink that one over, and Fairlawn caught up with it, but unfortunately overpass right back to Scott, and she took care of things.
Yeah, the senior just stayed at it, and Hershey with the point, getting closer to that set 2 victory.
Simone Putoff again serving. Lessing back. The Raiders can't catch up to that one.
Nice job there by Jesse Apke, the junior, recognizing what was available there, saw the open spot on the floor and gets the point.
Apke back to serve. Raiders struggling here a little bit. Need to get back in the sync. Get the ball over. Lessing goes far side. Picked up nicely by the Raiders. Monin near side to Carly Scott, and that finds the hole in the defense. It's 24-18.
I feel like you're saying Scott a lot. It's one
or the other.
Yeah.
And speaking of Scotts, it's Ashley Scott back to serve. Nice jump serve from the center. To the far side. And that is called out by the line judge, and that's the second set.
Line judge Al Putoff called it out, and I think if he would have been wrong, Coach Watkins, of course, he would have made the right call. He was standing right there as well.
That one is wide. I misspoke. That wasn't. I thought it was 24. Now it is 24-19 with that serve error. So Fairlawn down 5 here. Needs to work hard. Rushi back set to Scott. And nice.
Wow.
And that is the second set, 25-19.
All right, well, attention volleyball fans. Cruisers Bar and Grill in Rushi offers a great variety of fresh food from their menu, from their delicious lug nuts to their homemade pork tenderloins. Stop in before or after the volleyball game with family and friends. Large screen TVs inside and out give you a great reason to watch sports while enjoying your favorite beverage. Stop in and enjoy the fun and atmosphere of Cruisers Bar and Grill in Rushi, and tell them Fish Report sent you. Also, Rushi and Fairlawn community, doesn't it seem hard to plan a party with all this social distancing concerns? Well, quit stressing and call Made in the Shade Tents and Tables in Rushi. They specialize in rentals of outdoor tents, tables, and chairs. These work great for graduations, birthdays, weddings, reunions, festivals, or sporting events. For prices or options to make your reservations, contact owner Adam York at 937-726-4992. That's 937-726-4992, or email him at madeInShadeTents@gmail.com. Made in the Shade Tents and Tables in Rushi. TK, you know, one of the beautiful parts about volleyball, I've been talking about the back set and the jump serve, but the kill is also, when executed properly, is also a fun thing to watch. And I was reading back to that article we talked about Kate being in on Saturday. She talked about a successful kill was more than just getting high and slamming the ball down. She talked about communication from your teammates behind you. They're letting you know sometimes where to direct that kill, right?
Where to direct it, or who's open from a setter standpoint. Sometimes they need to be reminded of somebody that maybe a blocker's not set up correctly on the defensive side, and somebody helps them out with that hint. That was a nice opportunity right there behind the 10-foot line, because Ashley Scott was serving. She can't jump above in front of the 10-foot line, of course, for the veteran volleyball fans out there that know that. But something you don't see much in high school, and something I've not seen much at all out of Russia, because it takes a lot of talent to hit that ball from behind the 10-foot line, and it was a heck of a set and a heck of a kill from Ashley Scott there.
Well, with about 40 seconds here to go before we start this third set, what does Fairlawn need to do to get back in this thing? Down 2-0. From a mental standpoint, you kind of lose maybe your momentum here. What do they have to do?
I think a lot of what they did early on in that second set, I think we saw the team that they're capable of being. The first set, 25-13, they were never really in it. But with a 25-19 loss, they were in it up until it was about 10-11. They called a timeout, and Rushi kept the momentum and slowly pulled away, but they never really gave up. That's what they need to do. Continue to talk, continue to play good team volleyball, and they should have a chance to stay in this. I'm not sure they've got quite the talent level that the Raiders do, but they're getting better, and they showed it there in that second set that they've got some talent, and they just need to play together and continue to focus on their game.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Miller, I want to see Lana Heath become a bigger part of this offense, as well as Apke, both big killers, I guess you call them, and good players. Blessing needs to set them up a little bit more and perhaps take this third set from the Raiders.
Monon back to CC Borchers, and that's touched by the defender.
And speaking of Jessie Apke, she couldn't quite get to that one as it glanced off her fist and out of bounds.
All right. Bailey Pullman coming in for the Raiders as Maya Monon goes back in service. And for the first time tonight, the Raiders start off on top 1-0. Back set. Raiders pick it up. Monon's just going to go for the back corner. Fairlawn. Lessing. Here's Pullman. And that's off the block, and it finds the Fairlawn side.
Now, Lessing did set up Heath on that one. She wasn't able to get the point. Rushi, though, with Bailey Pullman, who's been playing well tonight, able to get that one for the Raiders.
That hard serve from Maya Monon. Raiders block that one at the front. Here's CC Borchers. Picked up by Fairlawn. There was Heath. The Raiders pick it up, and that one Sherman puts right into the net.
Kate Sherman really trying to whack that one, and just a little off.
That sends Lana Heath back to serve for Fairlawn. Monon going back to Borchers, and that's a point for the Raiders off the block. Apke trying to get up there and block along with Ellie Hinman, but they're not quite enough to stop that nice hard hit from the sophomore.
Well, CC Borchers might not seem as tall as some of these Raiders out here, and Bailey Pullman and Kate Sherman, girls like that, but she can sure get up.
Very athletic. And there's an overpass, and Sherman takes care of that one easily for the Raiders. And it's 4-1 Rushi here in the third set.
I'm not sure Kate even left her feet on that one, TK.
Borchers again serving. Lessing trying to go to the middle. Scrambling there. I thought that never came over, but the Raiders take advantage anyways.
Yeah, the entire back side of that Fairlawn side of the floor was open, and Rushi recognized it and got the point.
Kind of hesitated there. I thought UpJudge was going to blow a whistle, but he did call that one. Did not call it as a 4. There's Sherman on the overpass, but Fairlawn picks it up. Center, Scott. And there's 2 Raiders. They called that 4 hits on the Rushi side. It gives a point to Fairlawn. It's 5-2 Fairlawn. I'm sorry, Rushy leading Fairlawn here. In comes number 32, Macy Bradigan, to serve here for Fairlawn. Raiders go to the middle. Bailey Pullman couldn't quite get on top of that one, puts it into the net. Actually gets too far on top of that, as a matter of fact, and puts it into the net. It's 5-3. Rushy leading here in the third set. Try it again, back set this time to Kate Sherman. And line judge says in. Point Raiders.
Nice job by Kate Sherman there, hitting that one cross court. As we see Carly Scott come back in, I thought she had a decent second set and did some good things in the first. We'll see what she can do here in this third set. Her first opportunity.
Sherman, a little heavy on that serve, puts it long. Point goes to Fairlawn. It's 6-4, Rushy leading here in the third set.
Rushy, I feel like fortunate to be on top here right now, TK. Some unforced errors there, at least 3 of them for Fairlawn points. And
Vegas Gallimore back to serve for Fairlawn. Rushy just gets it over. Lessing, far side blocked by Rushy. And they call in the net. On the Fairlawn side, it's a Rushy point. Simone put off serving for Rushy. The Raiders, rather Jets, go to Abke, and that hits too long over the end line.
Simone put off part of that sophomore class we talked about, and we get to see the first action from the third senior on the Raiders roster, and Lauren Monier.
Rushy picks that one up, comes near side to Carly Scott, and she puts that one into the net.
Got a chance to talk to Lauren a little bit after the last game, TK, against Houston. Lauren, going to be studying radiology someday as she goes to Sinclair Community College. She gets an opportunity there.
Raiders go to Scott. It's overpass, and there's an overpass on the Raiders, so 2 mistakes in a row. Fairlawn scrambling a bit. And there's a little bit of that communication, as you just know. The senior comes in, and Monier not quite used to being where she is and misplayed that little miscommunication. Raiders go to Scott, and there's the point.
We'll go to the other senior then. Ashley Scott out there on the floor, and
Raiders up now up 9-6 here in the third set. Ashley Scott back to serve. Fairlawn scrambling, can't get that one over. A little bit of an overpass, and the set way too close to the net.
Yeah, the opportunities at the net for Fairlawn have been, the good opportunities have been kind of lacking tonight. Perhaps one reason they're down 2-0 and 10-6 in this third set.
Nice kill there by Carly Scott. Finds the corner.
She took every part of the floor in that one, TK, in this far corner underneath me here, and went all the way to the opposite back corner. So we talked about Nathan Marshall's niece, Kelby Dosek. She's seeing her first action in there now.
And she's right there on the net for the block.
She's part of that sophomore class once again. We keep mentioning them, but so talented, and she's just a very good volleyball player. Unfortunately, just gets lost in that wealth of talent.
Far side to Heath, blocked by the Raiders. Near side. There's Dosek, picked up by Fairlawn. Heath again, but picked up by Rushy. Dosek. Fairlawn able to get the hands on it. And that one by Heath is a little bit too much for Ashley Scott in the back line, and it's a point.
Lana Heath, actually second on this team last year in kills. She had 202 last year compared to Abke, who led this team with 301.
That sends Addison Swergen, the freshman, back to serve for Fairlawn. Raiders go to CC Borchers, and she finds the corner for a kill. It's now 13-7 Raiders here in the third set, leading 2-0 over the Jets.
Waiting for Coach Miller to call a timeout maybe before this thing does get away from Fairlawn in this third set.
Raiders pick that one up, scrambling to get it over and do. Fairlawn goes to the center, and that hits the corner. That's a point. Well done. Nicely done by Ellie Hinman. Found the far corner. It's 13-8.
Bell Brodigan, the junior middle hitter, checking in for the Jets.
Rushy going to Sherman. Can't quite catch up to that, a little bit close to the net. Sherman again, just going to get this one over. Fairlawn tries to dink it. The Raiders pick it up. Back set to Scott. Sherman right there to block it. Fairlawn comes up with it. CC Borchers. Fairlawn still scrapping. Nice volley. And there's Maya Mana with a little nice tap to find the opening right behind her.
A nice volley there, and kind of frustrating if you're Fairlawn when they make such a good effort. Like you said, being scrappy, and then you end up not getting the point.
That puts Maya Mana back to serve for the Raiders. Nice knuckleball serve. Fairlawn goes to the far side. It's blocked by Rushy. They want to say number 27 on the Fairlawn side. Bell Bradigan touched it, but that's not what the up judge says, and it's a point. Fairlawn 14-9. Rushy leading here. On into Borchers. Fairlawn blocked at the net by CC Borchers and Pullman. But that one they can't control off of Pullman out of bounds.
Jesse Apke with a kill on that one, TK. The junior, nice job.
Lana Heath back to serve for Fairlawn. Raiders will come to Sherman. She's just going to get that ball over. Fairlawn goes to the middle hitter, but Rushy picks it up. Scrambling for this, and they can't catch up to it. That would have caught the corner.
Nice job by Maimon, the sophomore, recognizing that back corner was open. So used to seeing her set her teammates there. She saw that opening in the corner and took advantage of it.
15-10 Rushy with CC Borchers serving. And there's a nice kill by the junior Jesse Abke.
We talk about the power that Kate Sherman has and Ashley Scott. Jesse Abke, she gets a good set. She's got just as much power, TK.
Yep, nice hits in there. Rushy going backside to Sherman. Off the block, and it hits the ground. It's a Rushy point. 16-11. The Raiders continue to lead here. In comes Monier, and in comes Dosek for the Raiders.
Got two players that don't see a ton of action, maybe.
And then she comes back out, and in goes Carly Scott. Always confusing. I've been watching volleyball for a long time, and I still can't completely figure out. You can only serve for certain people in certain positions, and that's what you saw there with the Raiders. Had to put one girl in and take her right back out to keep order. And that's a kill for the Raiders at 17-11. Kate Sherman back to serve again. Nice knuckleball. Far side, the Raiders get the block on it. Can they get it over? They cannot get it over. Good effort, but not quite enough.
Well, I'm really impressed with these freshmen for Fairlawn. I know there's other good upperclassmen on this roster, but Swearigan, the freshman, as well as Ellie Henman, both of them doing a nice job here for Coach Miller, and they're going to be ones to watch in the years to come, that's for sure. Already doing a good job as freshmen.
Heath back to serve for Fairlawn. Here she goes center. Scott, overpass, and a Scott. First Ashley, then Carly.
Nice job by Carly staying out of the net there, TK.
Yep. And some more new faces come in for the Raiders. Number 14, That is Corey Gubo,
Yeah.
and she, I believe, is just got pulled up to the varsity squad, and they're calling that a double.
I think she took a big breath when the ball got over the net
Yes,
there.
indeed, she did. I'm sure she wouldn't have liked her first service to be a net. I'm sure her dad might have been able to give her a couple keys on that.
Abke with the point on that one, TK.
Yep, nice play. Found the opening on the Raider defense side of there.
Well, they're still hanging around. Just down 6 points here, 19-13.
Ushi trying to put some new faces in. And that just finds a corner. What a nice spot to hit by Kendall Monin.
Things going the way of the Raiders here in this third set.
That sends Ashley Scott back to serve for the Raiders. Big jump serve from the center. Lessing backside to Swearingen. Raiders pick it up. Monin trying to just dink it over. Picked up by Fairlawn. And that one comes too far across. He thought she saw an opening, which she did, but she gave it a little too much and couldn't get it to fall in bounds. It's Rushi 21, Fairlawn 13 here in the third set.
Another substitution, polling coming in for the Raiders. I like what Coach Watkins is doing, getting some of these younger players some time on the floor. So not only do you have polling on the floor, but Kelby Dosek, who's seeing some time, as well as Corey Gubo.
There we go. There's an ace from Scott.
And you know what you do, TK, when you have those younger players in there, you put them with seniors like Kendall Monin and Ashley Scott. They'll take care of them. That's Claire Henman coming in, TK, another junior.
Scott, a little too much on that. Couldn't get on top of it. No top spin, and that sails long. It's 22-14, Rushi. Again here in the third. And we have Lindsay Pistano in for the Raiders. She's a sophomore.
A little different lineup than we saw to start the night out.
And Addison Swearingen, one of the two freshmen. Up judge, having some discussion with the captain.
Well, TK, while we got this little break in the action, the Raiders have a busy couple days coming up here. 3 games in 4 days, and to top it all off, they're all league games. You got, Jackson Center tomorrow, and then Anna on Thursday. So important to get started off on the right foot here. It looks like they're going to do that, getting if they win this set, it will be 3-0, but it doesn't get any easier tomorrow against Jackson Center again.
Another tough night. So I think we got things reset here. It's 22-14 Rushi. Got to dig that one out, and they do. Fairlawn going to go far side. Nope. And that one the Raiders can't catch up to.
Well, Vistano did a nice job saving that one for Rushi, TK, but maybe a little chaotic out there right now with all this the new players. Rushi just trying to hang on here for 3 more points.
Rotating on the Fairlawn side, in comes Macy Bradigan. That's a serve from the freshman, Swearingen. Fairlawn goes far side. We've got another discussion.
I thought Poling did a nice job getting involved in a couple of those exchanges.
It's a do-over. One of the odd or different rules within volleyball than any other sport, when something happens that the judge isn't quite sure, the line judge or up judge, they can call a do-over, and that's what happens in that case. Fairlawn just going to get this one over, see what Rushi can do with it. Set comes near side. It's blocked at the net. Raiders scrapping for that ball. Fairlawn just going to try and get this one over. It's Abke, picked up by Rushi. Monin near side again to Dosek, and that goes down. The kill for number 7.
The Raider faithful love seeing Rushi battle on that point, TK, especially again with all the new folks in there or girls in there. Good to see, but Kendall Monin and Maya Monin both coming up big there as well for Rushi, the veterans, I guess you say.
Potential overpass. Oh, nice battle, and Fairlawn wins it on that one. Lessing and Hinman right there out-muscle the Raiders at the net and get the point. It's 23-16. Rushi leading, and Lessing back to serve for the Jets. Little drop serve there just at the 10-foot line.
Yeah, I think it fooled Corey Gubo there a little bit as Coach Watkins tries to explain to her what he wants her to do.
So 23-17. Lessing again to serve. Goes after Gubo again. Sherman, and that's a kill.
Nice job that time. Gubo able to pass that one. And Kate Sherman with the kill.
That sends Maya Monin back to serve for the Raiders, leading 24-17 here in the third set. So it's set match point, and that's an ace, and that's it. It's 25-17. The Raiders take 3 in a row over the visiting Fairlawn Jets and extend that win streak to 7 straight. And as you mentioned, Craig, going into some tough games, Jackson Center, and then Anna, and then they leave league play and play number 3, New Knoxville at New Knoxville on Saturday. A huge match.
I didn't even want to talk about that one, TK. I knew New Knoxville's pretty good. As a matter of fact, I don't think they have any losses yet, do they?
I don't believe they do.
I don't know if they played New Bremen. Apparently not. But anyway, yeah, I knew Knoxville, very good, very high in those state rankings that we see so many of these local teams involved in. And, Rushi trying to keep pace right now with Fort Laramie as far as the SCAL championship goes. I know Rushi very much wanting to get that one. They had one back in 2018. Fort Laramie very good, though. Those two split, as we said in the pregame during the regular season. That series already done. But it is important to get that league championship, even though the postseason's very much high on that list of priorities as well.
Yeah, always nice to be able to put that up and show your efforts. When you have a good team, it's one of those little bonuses, just like the records that come along with being a good squad. They're not always your main focus. You want wins and want to go as deep as you can every year, every tournament. But getting those little things like the league title is very meaningful as well.
So as you said, we're going to wrap things up here tonight with the win. Rushi is going to improve to 11-3 overall. They're 8-1 in the SCAL. As we just said, we'll be back in action again tomorrow night hosting Jackson Center in a rescheduled game and a rematch from this past Saturday. We'll have that one live for you, streaming that one. And for Fairlawn, they will play again tomorrow night as well, hosting Anna. So for a final time, Rushi defeats Fairlawn 3-0. If you missed the JV score, Rushi won that one as well, 2-0. We hope you enjoyed Fish Report's broadcast of high school volleyball. Thanks for tuning in. And from Rushi Local School and the Clair C Naveau Gymnasium, I'm Craig Fissinger for Tim Kearns saying good night, everyone.